Just because the committee predicted something doesn't mean they were right. I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is the Dylan Hildreth Show. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, just because the committee predicted LSU beating Alabama does not mean they were right. And the only reason the committee would put LSU at number 10 is they were banking on LSU beating Alabama. And that's just simply not, it's simply not right. LSU did not deserve to be 10. They still don't deserve to be, well, putting them at 10, it wouldn't be as big of a crime as it was last week. But my rankings do not reflect that. Now, my rankings, I do put into consideration who beat who, by how bad, where, and I did have kind of a light bulb moment, you would want to say, when Joel Klatt made a point about a team that I'll get into when we get there. So let's just get into it. My full rankings, as you can see, Georgia at 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State, TCU, Oregon, UCLA, USC, dropped Tennessee down to 8, Liberty, and Utah. But where's LSU? Again, we're going to get there. Now, obviously, Georgia at 1, they just beat the brakes off Tennessee. Michigan, I still think, is better than Ohio State. Ohio State, once again, at 3, showing why Michigan is better each and every single week. TCU at 4, they are undefeated. They deserve to be above the undefeated team, the one-loss teams at this point. Oregon at 5. Oregon, I firmly believe, should be at 5. And the come to Jesus meeting was with Oregon. And everybody falls into that habit of punishing teams that actually give at least attempt to give us this prime time matchup game, this good game. And that's exactly what they did with Oregon, with Georgia. If Oregon did not go on the road pretty much to play at Georgia, they'd be undefeated. They'd be sitting right at 4. Now, I am going to punish them by not putting them over TCU, because, again, TCU is undefeated. But we have to stop punishing teams so severely for going on the road to play a Georgia, play in Alabama, so on and so forth. Now, yes, they got absolutely throttled, and they would probably get throttled again by Georgia. However, they wouldn't be throttled as bad. I think they are much improved. This is a team that gets better and better each and every week. And quite frankly, it's either them or UCLA as the best team in the Pac-12. Now, back over to the rankings. UCLA, I think they're better than USC. I got them at 6 and 7, respectively. Tennessee, I dropped down to 8, and they do not have much ammo to be moving back up to the top. Nor, I don't believe they should be in the Final Four for a playoff spot. I'm putting a conference champion in over Tennessee. Whether it's the Pac-12 or Big 12 or the loser of the Ohio State-Michigan game, granted if that is not a blowout. Because Tennessee got physically dominated in every front of that game. Tennessee was not in control at one single point of that game. And yes, I know they led 3-0 at one point. But again, they had absolutely zero control. They got absolutely dominated. Tennessee had no business being in the same realm as Georgia. They had no business being there. And as it sits now, it's Georgia and everybody else. Michigan is a far, far second place. And the fact that the AP poll has Ohio State above Michigan is laughable. And if the rankings come out later tonight saying that Ohio State is better than Michigan, again, laughable. Ohio State is a distant third from Michigan. And then TCU, obviously, a distant fourth. And yeah, we're getting some new names and new faces, but the gap is so incredibly wide from 1 to 4, and yet having 12 teams is going to make that better? Yeah, right. 12 teams. Give me a break. So, back into it. 9, Liberty. They have one close loss. And I am not going to punish them super harshly for that loss. Their loss is not as nearly as bad. I believe it was against. They lost to at Wake Forest in a very close game. That is why I am putting Liberty at 9. They just beat Arkansas in Arkansas. And then they got UConn, Vatech, New Mexico State. Tulane has nobody on the horizon. They're in the Conference USA. They have absolutely no one. I mean, and then Utah. 2 very close losses that could have gone either way at the buzzer. Utah is the best 2-loss team in this country. Hi, Alabama. And I mean, it just 2 very tough close losses. At the Swamp, and then against UCLA, which that one was, as a matter of fact, on the road as well, at UCLA. So 2 road losses, 1 in the Swamp, 1 in the Rose Bowl. I have to put them at the best, as the best team in 2-loss team in the country. And I know Alabama's a 2-loss team in the country. They lost 2 games on the road against their rivals. Alabama looked absolutely awful for 3 games now. 3 big primetime games. And we're about to go into a 4th one that's on the road against Ole Miss. We'll see. We'll see. I may sneak Alabama back up after this week, but who knows? But as of now, Alabama out of my top 10. So, one last look at my rankings. Let me know what you think. I hope the committee at least gives Liberty the benefit over Tulane, because Liberty's loss is not nearly as bad as Tulane's that was at home against Southern Miss. And I really hope that they actually penalize Tennessee for getting thoroughly dominated in every single aspect of the game against Georgia, because they had no business being there. That's the reality. Sorry, Rocky Top. You ain't there yet. Maybe in 2 years. But you ain't there yet. That is all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow with my reaction of the college football playoff rankings. Hopefully this one's actually good. See you next time.